All right, I'm live. Let's see. Let's see. I'll give some people time to get in on the live session here on YouTube. Yes, indeed. Hanging out. Just wanted to get a chance to share a little bit. I see that the link just went through. I'm talking about the live stream that I'm doing on Wednesday. Uh, it's going to be fun. What's happening? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so what is going on this Wednesday? I'm gonna be in the studio, not like how you see um, in my own studio. I'm actually going to a studio, paying for studio time and everything. And I was going to open it up for those who wanted to actually see how I work in the studio. I'll have a couple of guys come there. This time, this format is going to be a little different. And this is just because I'm gonna be going back and doing more stuff. I wanted to track a drummer, and I had another guy coming in. Uh, I'm not gonna say who, but neither the drummer or the piano player. If you want to see, because they're good guys, notable guys. But anyway, we're going to record some stuff. I'm gonna have them play on some things, and I'll make it available this year. And so I wanted to, because I did it. I did it last. No, what? Not last year. I did it a couple years back, 2018, where we were in the studio at January Studio, and I had like a pay-per-view, pay-per-stream deal. So you could actually pay to have access to watch the stream live as I was recording it. So I still got that whole video too. I need to share it, but I'll put it in my group for those people who want access to this stuff. I got a lot of content, and now I'm getting more ideas on how to repurpose that content and even use that content in another way, you know. And so that really brings up um, this whole idea of streaming uh, my session because I'll have the replay. So even if you're not available during 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. on Wednesday to watch it live, you'll have access to the replay. So if you purchase, you'll have access to the replay to watch it later. Or I'm going to put it together and offer it as a part of a package, you know. So that's what I'm working on. So if you're wanting to check out the stream that's coming, my live studio session stream, I put the link in the description. You can click on it. I haven't created a shortcut link at the time of this video. I guess I could do that right now if you wanted to do it through my phone. Send me a text for the link. Text Quamon.com. Just send text Quamon.com. Send hashtag studio, and I'll get it to you. All right. So what I'm gonna do? I offered a bonus. I just did a live on Facebook, and I was just talking about how if you signed up for the studio session that's happening on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., if you signed up, then you definitely will get the replay, and also you'll get the music, the done music. That whatever I do that in the studio, I'm going to give it to you mixed and mastered. So you get the mixed and mastered version first before everybody else. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm doing. And really, this year, I released some singles and I released um, a groove bundle, Q Grooves bundle. And so out of that, it kind of started the idea, and then due to feedback that I got from you guys and people on Facebook and different folk, musicians around the country, they was just saying, hey, I want to play on your stuff. Drummers, bass players, keyboard players. And so I was like, oh man, well, I need to put together some play alongs because I was just initially thinking about the play alongs for instrumentalists. I wasn't thinking about, drummers, piano players, and bass players to play my songs. So I was like, oh wow. So I was going to actually make these play alongs available for you with my songs. All right. So if you're a bass player, if you're a drummer, keyboard player, you'll be able to access pretty soon my songs to play with, and this will be great ways to get your chops together and really hear yourself playing with the music that you have been listening to that you enjoy of mine. And so this is a great practice method because this is what I did to really grow and learn as an instrumentalist. I used a lot of play-alongs initially to learn songs, jazz standards. And so now here's an opportunity for you to use my songs as play-alongs to practice with. So that's um, the idea that came about from me releasing the Q Grooves bundle. Okay, so I'm open. Just hit me up. I want to know where you are in your development and what you need and what you're looking for. You subscribe to this channel, so I want to, create something that suits your needs that's kind of tailor made. So you can definitely put a comment, leave me a comment here on the channel. Also, you can message me, text me at textquamon.com, TEXTQUAMON.com, and we can converse that way as well. Um, so, yeah, so I'm just trying to continue to create new stuff and give you opportunity to learn, from some of the things that I've published. And also, I'm going to create some new material for you to check out what's going on there. But yeah, but for sure, this Wednesday, the link is in the description. Just click that link. It's the view stub, and it's a live. You can get a ticket. You got to purchase a ticket so that you can be on the live feed once I go live on Wednesday from 10 to 3 p.m. So it'll be available for you if you want to check out us live in the studio. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Hopefully, your Father's Day, if you're a father, has been great, a blessing. Or if you're not a father, call up your dad, reconcile with your dad. If you don't have a good relationship, reconcile with him, because this is the time where you definitely want to, be close to family or have a good relationship with the family, with your family in the midst of all of this chaos and all the stuff that's happening around our world, And that's what's encouraging me too, to create new music and put out stuff because that really will help set the tone and atmosphere in so many people's homes is when they're able to hear some good music. So, uh, so that's my motivation too, to be a blessing with some of the things that I have to share. So if you'll be able to make it, join us. It's not going to be streamed on YouTube or Facebook, so it's going to be in an inclusive location. So make sure you just click on that link that I put in the description, and we'll be able to you'll be able to see and hear us in the studio live recording. All right, so somebody put up a quote. Put up something, a comment. Hi, Mr. Fowler. Your stuff are great and very advanced and complex, but nice. Have you considered doing something for beginners, early intermediate players who are mainly hobbyists? Uh, yeah. Sometimes it's sometimes I know when you check out the in the shed sessions, it's basically what I want to practice. Um, and I do have some stuff where I've talked about more basic things, intermediate things, but really, I think initially I started the channel kind of as a way, a journal, if you would, kind of like of my own stuff I was motivated to practice, um, and to share with other folk who were looking for um, licks and ideas and practice methods to expand your vocabulary. So I kind of started there, and of course, well, I don't know, when you're in business, of course, your biggest audience is going to be the beginner audience and the hobbyist, you know. But I learned that later, so it's kind of like I got to really create the content as I get it in terms of like your comment here, your feedback, and I've done like a survey and everything where I've collected a lot of information, feedback from my audience, and they've kind of told me what they would like to see. So you can also get on that email list too. Go to jazzwebshed.com and a pop up will appear there, and then I have some training in there, email series that you can go through, and it'll help you with beginner jazz techniques and stuff like that. So I do have that stuff, and you just have to ask me questions. And when I do the QA in the shed sessions or whatever, um, I'll try to address it right there on the spot. Yeah. But appreciate your comment and appreciate you, watching the channel anyway and learning, learning from it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anybody else have any questions? I understand. No reason for change. You do well. It is awesome. Appreciate it, especially getting to experience what a pro practice. Right. No worries. You're doing great. Okay. Appreciate that. Yeah. 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 I mean, I think the main thing is being a pro, as you say, over the years, we just process stuff quicker. Um, and it's building blocks, but the building blocks, I talk about the essential elements. I start with scales. I talk about being able to play your modes and then arpeggios. So it's kind of like you got to think about linear lines. That's basically where you're moving stepwise, and you want to be able to play that with a metronome. And then you want to deal with arpeggios. That's where you're dealing with more spaced out intervals of thirds, right? Minor thirds, major thirds, and once you play your modes, then you're playing off of the different degrees of a major scale or even a minor scale. It just depends. But as you start going through your modes and playing them with the metronome, it'll help get you familiar, your fingers familiar with just the different degrees of playing through these scales. Because when it goes to improvisation and you're looking at a C minor 7, you know that that's just the second mode of the major scale. And when you look at F7, you know that that's the fifth mode of a B flat major scale. So it's just a matter of applying the theory in with what you can play. So I kind of talk about those things, but some of a lot of foundational things you need to understand. But here's what I suggest too, because I know a lot of people. will search on YouTube for different content and watch some stuff here and watch some stuff there. But at some point you have to pick one person, or you have to pick a mentor and just stick with them long enough so that you can connect the dots. Because you can easily get confused if you got too many concepts. Because I hear people ask me all the time, but what books I need to start on and stuff like that. Because I've seen that they feel that they need to get some book, and they got a bunch of books, and then they've been listening to different YouTubers and listening to different musicians, and they've been trying to piece it together. And everybody has a different approach, or they have similar approaches, but the way that they put things together is different sequences, so that can confuse you. You can get overwhelmed and kind of confused. So what you need to do, if you like somebody, you connect with them the way that they teach and the way they do stuff. Just consume a bunch of that before you move on to something else. And then you got to pay for stuff. Like, I mean, especially in anything. And I'm not just saying that to promote my own programs. I have an academy. You can definitely join the academy. But what I'm saying is, I had to pay for lessons. I had to pay for mentors and teachers so that I could get a deep dive, and really uh, get as much information and perspective from that particular person so that I can implement that and it can become a part of me. Whereas when you only have like 5 minute intervals, even if you're consuming it daily from a YouTube channel or whatever, it's only so much you can get from that. Whereas sometimes you need to pay for that hour-long lesson, or you need to pay for the hours of lessons in a particular academy so you can really get the full picture or the concept, the deeper concept that that particular person is trying to uh, communicate. Because everybody has their own thing. It's a lot of different YouTubers that teach jazz saxophone and stuff online. So, and everybody has their own approach. But if you really want to learn, you got to focus on one particular person for a certain period of time and get all of their stuff. That's what I've done. I did that coming up, with Sonny Rollins. I did it with Joshua Redmond. I did it with James Carter. I did it with Cannonball Adderley. I did it with Stanley Turrentine. All of these musicians, I studied their stuff. I bought all the stuff I could find of them playing on it, and then I took private lessons. Had mentors. So all of those deep dives pulled me closer and closer around their concept, where uh, just it's like if you got a buffet and you take a little from here, a little from there, and a little from there, and you just going around eating piece by piece. Just, I mean, we do that. That's perfectly fine. I'm not saying it's a way to eat, but I'm just trying to use an analogy to explain, if like one bite at a time, but focus on something and on one person, dig in, get all that you can, understand it, be able to apply it, then move on to somebody else. That's what I'm saying. Because I definitely had to use the same approach with marketing and business. Certain people I follow who I bought their stuff and really dug deep into. All right, somebody said, Ivan said, "What's up? You're so right about music being a journey. Talk more about that. Your listening evolution and the players who have had the deepest influence, especially early on." So yeah, like I said, Sonny Rollins, Joshua Redmond, Branford Marsalis, um, um, James Carter, Ornette Cobb, Stanley Turrentine, John Coltrane, of course Charlie Parker. All of these guys, I would get their recordings of them, their own solo, or well, yeah, as a band leader, the projects that they had, and I would also listen to the ones that they appeared on. Also, Johnny Griffin, a lot of Johnny Griffin, and so I would transcribe their music. I learned that music um, and play along with the recordings. Most of the time, I didn't write it down. I learned by ear just so I could figure it out. And then I would get play alongs, and I would try to work in the stuff that I transcribed in the play along, and I would make up my own stuff and really just try to sound like what I would hear them sound like, and sprinkled in there with playing with other guys, other musicians, my peers, also playing gigs, doing gigs with the play-alongs, playing with bands and other musicians where we're calling the tunes that we heard on the records or trying to play the tunes we heard on the records. All of that just helped me to what do you call it? Craft my voice, my musical voice, and develop. And like what you said, it's definitely a journey. You learn more and more along the journey. Even thinking about a journey, you meet new people. Like you hear new people. You talk with friends about, oh man, have you heard of this cat? You go check out that music. You connect with it. It's like, wow, that's awesome. I like that. And it's not just saxophone players. It's trumpet players. Roy Hargrove, early on. Well, all throughout. Um, of course, Wynton Marsalis, um, Freddie Hubbard, Lee Morgan, Clifford Brown, the older guys, um, Blue Mitchell, Red Holloway. Is that right? Well, he's saxophone player. Red Rodney, who I was thinking about, Red Rodney. But I checked out Red Holloway, James Moody, going back saxophone players, Oscar Peterson on piano. Of course, I learned some of his stuff. Phineas Newborn, I learned some of his stuff. Phineas Newborn Jr. Um, Wynton Kelly, of course. Cedar Walton stuff. Joe Henderson, because I'm thinking about his stuff compositionally, and so that's the thing. It's really once it's the thing. The reason why I like jazz and I got so heavy into it is because there was such a deep library of stuff to study, um, and they had so much to say. It was so much to learn from in terms of the archive and the compositions, the style, the whole concept of improvising. So it's like, man, it was very consuming. It's like God had to deliver me because I made it too much of a priority, and so I had to learn how to balance because I was just so fascinated with learning how to improvise and better improvise and learning harmony and wanting to include and incorporate new ideas and new approaches into what I was doing. So it can never end. I mean, it can always be an ongoing thing. Um, but in that journey, you find yourself. That's the thing about it. As you're looking and learning, you're connecting with certain elements and certain things that these other players have, and they become a part of you. So certain things naturally that you can do, like whether it be rhythmically or whether it be your tone or harmonically. It's certain musicians I can think of who, when you hear them, oh man, it's their sound. Or when you hear them, oh man, it's the way that they play over changes. Oh man, oh, it's his soul. So everybody has something that's just their thing, that's just authentic. But you get that from the journey. And you can't be afraid to pay money. I think our culture, well, not our culture, but your generation, I say your generation, millennials, post millennials, anybody under 35, 30 and under, it's like when YouTube came on and Spotify and all of that, you're used to getting stuff for free. And so the information is there, and it's almost like overwhelming, or people don't really know what they have. Whereas back when we were learning stuff from tape, we had to rewind it back, and we had to go to the store and buy it, or when CDs came out, we had to go buy the CDs and listen to it. We didn't have the technology in the 90s yet, where we could slow stuff down. I mean, that probably it came probably in 2000, you know. So we were having to keep rewinding stuff and learning stuff by ear. But it's just something to be said about going through that process to get it, and we had to work harder to get it. And when you're not wired to have to go check your Facebook feed or check Instagram or check YouTube, it's like, you have more concentrated time, or time when you can concentrate on one thing for a longer period of time without any distractions. So it's something to be said for having grown up without these social media tools, because we were able to focus on stuff longer and get a lot from it. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, we have the technology now, so you can connect with people like myself, and I can kind of bridge the gap between today and yesterday, because my foundation is built on not having the technology, you know. And that's why every generation after me and on, sometimes the generation's depth can get smaller and smaller. Um, and people just hollow, or musicians are hollow. I mean, it's true of anything, not just music, but it's just because everybody is focused on the same stuff, and they're overlooking the wealth, or the vast amount of information that's available in all these other pockets and places. But you'll never be able to discover it if you don't connect with someone who is aware of it. That's the whole point. Sometimes, like, our media that's readily available to us is really not giving you the information. It's not giving you all the information. You got to talk to somebody who is connected into the source of supply. And so that's why it's so enlightening when you do meet somebody, or discover somebody who really got it. And it's like, dang, man, wow, this is really valuable. Yes, it is. You met somebody, or you connected with someone who has some more that's a lot deeper than what you've been exposed to. And that's just because of our immediate environment, or what's pushed to the forefront. Really, most of the time is driven by money. you know um, so people will create what's popular, or they will follow the trends just so that they can get the clicks, or hit the metrics, or whatever. So it's more so driven by superficial stuff than actual really good content. So, but anyway, that's why it's important to connect with somebody, and pay for what you need to, because that's really gonna get you ahead if you go ahead and pay for a course, pay for lessons. Go ahead and do it, because once you do it, it becomes, you can get a deeper grasp of what you're going for. So with all of that said, this Wednesday, make sure you join me. I put the link in the description to get access to my live, it's a video feed of us in the studio. We're going to be in the studio live. and you'll be able to check us out recording and learn. All right. Um, and what I'm gonna do is from 10 to 3. So if you're able to make it, you can watch it live. We're gonna be in there 5 hours. So if you have to cut out, it's okay because the replay will be available for you. I think I got it set to 30 days. Um, and then don't worry because you'll be able to access it. You'll actually get the recording once I get it done. I'm posting the link right there. It's a long link. I should have made a short link, but that's it. All right. Somebody said here, Christopher, I guess, Christoph. Um, how did the call with Kirk go last week? Oh, yeah, that's right. You were watching. Hope to hear some uh, great news from you and your collabs. Yeah. Also agree on your early statement on mentor, sir. Okay. Well said. Great. Yeah, it was cool. We were talking about doing some stuff. He just needed to finish some things first, and uh, and then we could work on whatever we could work on something. Yeah, everybody's working busy, especially someone like that. So you just got to stay on them. Check check back in, say hey. But it's all good. I got some stuff I'm gonna do in the studio, and yeah, if you want to get in on that, like I said, the link is there, and I'll put some stuff together. I'm working on some collabs. I had a drummer lay down some stuff this past weekend, and I'm working on a few tunes, and then I'll be working on some new stuff this Wednesday. So it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun. Make sure you stay connected with me here on YouTube. Also, you can text me. Text Quamon.com. Let me put that here. Uh, I appreciate your support, your love, and we will see you next time. If you don't have any other comments or questions, see if you can shoot me another. I'll comment on it. If not, you enjoy. It's over now, the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, and stay safe and be a blessing to your family. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. All right, peace.